Hey up. So, Shameless are back again, releasing 2 films on the same day. And in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at the first of these 2 films. Spine number 29, don't worry, we'll be talking more about that later in the video. We're looking at Contraband, also known as The Smugglers. This is a 1980 Italian poliziotteschi film, directed by Lucio Fulci, who I'm sure needs no introduction on this channel. We've covered a wide array of his films before. This, though, is the one and only time he dipped his toes into the crime genre. The film stars Fabio Teste, who's done a few things. He played Sartana, he played Zorro, and he was a stuntman in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. And then we also get Guido Alberti, who was in 8½, and Spasmo. Outside of these 2, there's a few other names knocking about in this as well. It's interesting, I've not really seen a film in a while on this channel that actually has working actors in it. A lot of these have done a wide range, mostly Italian films, but yeah, there's a few faces you might spot throughout this. So, I don't know anything about this, I've never seen this one before. I'm a big Fulci fan. As I say, we've covered a lot of his stuff on this channel, some good, some bad. As for poliziotteschi, I've only seen a few of those films. Some I liked, some not so much. We talked about Almost Human on this channel, and I did enjoy that one. So maybe this will be good, who knows. Let's take a look, shall we? Let's crack on.
Catch us, there's only one thing to do. You've got to look at fast. Those bastards. Read it back, please.
You see, as we came out of the curve, we found a car parked in the middle of the street, straight ahead. 2 men from inside the other car got out, shot him, and then they made their escape.
We follow Luca, who smuggles cigarettes and alcohol. After a job goes wrong, he and his brother begin to suspect that another gang are after them. Bad things start happening around Luca. It all sort of starts when his brother gets assassinated, and it all culminates in his wife being kidnapped. So Luca is out on the run, trying to keep his head down, but also trying to figure out who's behind all this and then put a stop to it. Honestly, I didn't like this one at all. It just never really grabbed me. There's both a lot going on, and also it's all presented in a not too engaging, dry, slow tone. And yeah, there was no point during it where I just sort of was like, I'm in. And that might just be me, that might just be the mood I was in while watching it, but I kind of struggled to get through this one. It's only 96 minutes long, and honestly I felt every one of those minutes.
Who is it?
3 guesses whose underwear it is.
Where's the toilet?
As I tend to do with these Shameless films, I watched the first version that is sort of pushed on the disc, which, as usual, turned out to be the English dub. And honestly, the dubbing was terrible. It was over the top and cartoony and really didn't fit with the darker tone that the film's trying to put across. Made things lose a lot of weight and lose a lot of severity, and it just didn't really mesh well for me. There's a lot of characters in this as well. It loves to throw tons of characters at you, but in a very dry sort of way. And not gonna lie, a lot of these characters are just middle-aged Italian men with mustaches, so there were points where I was forgetting who was who, what side people were on and things like that. It just never felt clear. Now maybe this is down to the translation, maybe the dubbing itself is pretty poor. Maybe if I watched the Italian version it'd make more sense, I don't know, but as far as I can see it, the English version anyway of this film is pretty worthless, in my opinion. Gore. We do get some gore, honestly it is a highlight of this film. It's very, very Fulci. We get heads exploding, faces being burnt off, blood spurting out everywhere, and definitely the best part of the film for me anyway. The problem is that it's not the focus, and it only happens every now and again. And every time these scenes had come in, I just wish I was watching a better Fulci film, one with a bit more of that in it. So it kind of worked against it in a little way, I guess. It's a dark film as well. It's quite a bleak film, you know. Like, not many survivors in the end, and there's a pretty intense scene involving Luca's wife. We don't see what happens, but the implication enough is pretty, it's pretty dark. But still, these sorts of themes, these darker tones and themes, are usually the things that grab me and hook me into a film and make me pay attention. But they just didn't for this. I don't know, it just felt very flat. And yeah, it didn't really get across the emotion that I feel like it was trying to. Maybe it just took too long to get there. Maybe the scenes were just a little too drawn out. But I just never really got that in with it. It's not a badly made film either, don't get me wrong. Like, it's shot quite nicely. The colours are good. There's some quite impressive scenes, like the boats and stuff. Apparently, as well, a lot of the smuggler extras were actual smugglers that got hired for this, and they brought their own boats and did their own sort of like on-water stunty bits and stuff, and that's a highlight. And the music's pretty good as well. I did quite like the music, very fitting. But though that's about as far as I can really praise it, to be honest. The gore, the music, and some of the like impressive vehicle sections. Maybe it's poliziotteschi's, I don't know. I did enjoy Almost Human, but this one just really didn't work for me. But I'm not going to give up on them. If people have any suggestions for ones that I should check out, then do let me know, because I'm always looking for stuff to watch. Maybe this just didn't work for me. Maybe it was just this one.
You behave like a stupid idiot and you jeopardize all of us! Luca! Speak to me, please.
No.
Ciao, Arrow. I have to go home right now. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Arrow's in the sky with Uncle Mickey. Right, Mama?
So I'm going to have a little rant about Shameless now. This might ramble a little bit, but why not get into it here? Of course it's going to be about the spine numbers. You know what I'm like. I'm a stickler for spine numbers. So, we're now missing spine number 20 and 28, with this being 29. And I think I've sussed why this has happened. And it's a bit of a shitty oversight from Shameless, if I'm completely honest. So let's start with the missing spine number 20. So I think I've speculated on this in the past, but it makes sense that it is the case now. So the Beyond got reissued from the special edition to the standard version, and the spine numbers are linked to the product number at the bottom. So you have the big yellow spine number, but then underneath it says SHAM 2 and then whatever number it is, and that will correlate to the spine number. So for Contraband, spine number 29, SHAM 229. So it makes sense. Now, when they reissued the Beyond, it had a new product code, but they retained the original spine number for the Beyond, meaning that the little window for having spine number 20 passed, and now there just isn't one in existence. So that's that sorted. Spine number 28 though, this does exist. I could go to HMV right now and pick it up. It does exist. But the problem is that it is tied behind a reissue of a film that they've already put out, Four Flies on Grey Velvet. This has had another release by Shameless recently, and instead of just having the same spine number as the original release of Four Flies, they've given it its own number, so that is officially number 28. Now, this is really annoying because they have reissued other things in the past. Mountain of the Cannibal God got a reissue, and it retained its spine number and product number, meaning that there was no issue then with the spine numbers. So why the fuck can't they just keep stuff where it is. Like, why have spine numbers if you're going to make people buy the same film twice, or just have one completely missing? It's so sloppy and messy, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. And while we're on this as well, if they reissue a film that they've already put out on Blu-ray, I'm not talking about it again, because I've already discussed it. I've already talked about it. And like, all I'd really be saying is, oh, the print's ever so slightly crisper, or oh, they added a different special feature. It's not worth talking about. And I'm not going to be talking about the 4K releases that they've just started doing either, because I don't really care about the 4K side. So that's where I stand on this. That's where the missing spine numbers are. There's a good chance it'll happen again if they decide to reissue something. I'm not buying the same film twice. That's stupid and a waste of money. And rant over. That's all I've got to say on the matter.
Because if I was him, I'd be concerned. What the fuck's he think he's doing, the Sharino?
Moderately suggestive.
Okay, let's have a look at this print then. It's not too bad, honestly. It's quite nice. It's clean and crisp. There was one little flicker right at the beginning that I noticed, just a slight judder. But outside of that, everything else is pretty sharp. The sound's good. Yeah, I can't really complain about it, to be honest. It's completely fine. And on the disc, we start with a few pre-menu trailers, all for Fulci films, which makes sense, nice and fitting. Then we get the English dub of the film, the Italian dub of the film. We get an alternate intro section, which it's exactly the same, apart from they've removed a day for night filter that was on the original release of it. Interesting. Then we get a 22-minute interview with Fabio Teste. We get a 35-minute long interview with Fulci's daughter, and we get an hour-long video essay by a guy whose name I keep forgetting, Stephen Thrower. How can I not remember the most English name, but I can remember all the Italian names? Ridiculous. We get an hour-long video essay by Stephen Thrower, which goes into Fulci's history as well as just this film. So, not bad, honestly, on this disc. Not too bad at all. Okay, case time. The slipcover's pretty nice. Again, it sticks with the black. I like that they've been consistent with that. At least there is some consistency within Shameless. We get an alternate cover again, and it's more fitting because it's a super boring cover, so it's more honest to the film. All the information seems correct too. It reads well. It really sells the film on the back as well. There's a little bit at the bottom of the slipcover that's a note from Fulci reading that this is one of his favourite films. That's kind of a sweet inclusion, but I definitely disagree with it. It's definitely not one of my favourite films. I quickly want to moan about the clear case too. That again, it just doesn't have the Shameless branding on it, and I don't know, I hate it. They feel super cheap as well. For how expensive these Blu-rays are to buy, especially to pre-order. Such a shame that they're skimping out on the casing. Lastly, I forked over for the low-numbered version, and I got 0198. Overall then, yeah, this just didn't work for me, unfortunately. I found it dry and boring, and only a few smatterings of gore really ever perked my interest. But I mean, if you want to watch Fulci gore, there are so many better examples than this film out there. I don't know, I was hoping for more from this because it has decent reviews online. But yeah, maybe I'm just the outlier, eh? But I'm not going to just sit here and make up that I enjoyed it to you, am I? I'm really glad Fulci didn't do any more like this, because I think he's better at the horror, you know, at the gory, surrealist horror stuff. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if you're going to watch this, I'd say if you're a Fulci diehard or a Fulci completionist, or you're just a big fan of Italian police crime dramas, then maybe you'll get something from it, but for me, it just didn't work, unfortunately. If you are in the market though, this is a nice version, plenty of special features, and maybe that Italian dub is a better way of watching it. Maybe that'd save the film somewhat for me. So maybe I'll check that out at some point in the future. So yeah, unfortunately, a bit of a crap comeback for Shameless there. But they did release 2 on the same day. So there will be another review this week. This will be coming out on the Tuesday, so be sure to check back in on the Thursday for the second of these, where we're going to be taking a look at Oasis of Fear.